Hi, welcome to my channel. It's Claire here for Inky Inspiration. Today's card is a spinning, rotating pop-up card. I've seen loads of these and the mechanisms are always quite difficult and I always feel like I'm going to get lost, whereas I think I've simplified this quite nicely for you. So very easy, anybody can give it a go. I've used stamps from Creative Stamping issue 147. So can I just ask, if you haven't already, would you please hit that like and subscribe button and I'll show you how to create this. So to create the card base itself, I'm going to start with a sheet of 11 by 5.5 and I'm going to score that at 5.5, fold it and burnish it. Now, before we start any of the mechanisms, we need to decorate the inside of this. So to do that, I've cut myself some holographic card which measures 5.25 by 5.25, and then I've cut some white which measures 5 by 5, and I have used a Time for Tea Designs stencil which is called Scene It stencil, and some Blueprint Sketch Distress Oxide just to create my clouds. I've done that on 3 pieces because I want it on the front and both of these. So I'm just going to stick these down, then these can be drying while we work on the mechanism. So for this side here, I've done exactly the same. Holographics 5.25 by 5.25. The white was 5 by 5. I've used the same stencil. And then this stamp here, I've added with some foam tape, is from the Creative Stamping issue number 147. And it's just, take it out of the packet, it's just this stamp here. I've coloured it in, I've fussy cut it out, and then I've just guillotined it around the edges here just to get that nice straight edge, and adhered it with some foam tape. I will put all these measurements in my blog post, which I'll link in the description below, so don't worry if you miss them the first time round, it will all be written down for you. So that's going to be my inside here. And I'm just going to leave that to dry. So I'm going to start to make the mechanism, and to do that you want a sheet of card which measures 1 inch by 4 inch, and you're going to score it at 1, 2.5 and 3.5. Then fold the 3.5 score line. No, the 2.5 score line. Fold the 2.5 score line. Just move my scoreboard out of the way a moment. Grab a ruler and put a mark at the 1/2 inch. You're not going to see any of this once it's inside, so don't worry, this is just so that you can get that fold right on that mechanism. I want you to take your ruler and your scoring tool, and I want you to go from that inch that you've just put a mark on to the corner of this score line here. Like so. Fold that over both ways, and then open it up and push it in. So you should have a piece of card like that. We're going to fold it like this. Then grab yourself a square which is 1 inch by 1 inch, and grab your pencil and ruler again, and you're going to mark at the 1/2 inch, top and bottom, on all 4 sides. And then I want you to join these together, so you're going to end up with a cross in the middle. You'd see absolutely none of this, so don't worry about this. Grab a pair of scissors and you're going to cut away one of these quarters. Like so. Then you need to grab your scoring tool again and your ruler, and you're going to score this corner to this corner. Then I'm just going to fold that both ways up that scar line that you've just created, and then bring back in the rest of your mechanism. Now you need some liquid glue. Lay this flat, and you're going to put a little bit of liquid glue in this, just the corner of here, of this triangle. Like so. This piece that you've just created, you want your fold, so it's folding towards you, and you want it so that it's that way around, just like playing a game of Tetris, isn't it? And you're going to lay that so that you've got it up to the fold line here on that seam. And then that should fold like that for now. Don't worry so much about this folding in the wrong place. We'll get that where we want this bit folding in the wrong place. We'll get that where we want it in a minute. It's more about making sure that this mechanism's secure here first. Once you're happy that it's dry and that your card base is dry, pull your card base over and decide where you're going to want your swirly bit to be. So I want some bits to pop up out of it, so I think fairly low down here so that I can move up here. So what I'm going to do is fold this tab under and put my glue on this tab here. So lay it, just rub my glue in first, and I'm going to lay it flat. So lay it flat like that, and then put this edge here with this scar line here. So I'm going to put mine about there. You then want to put glue up to this scar line here. Actually, I haven't folded that yet. Fold it first, so it wants to be folded in on itself like that. Then put your glue on. So you're just going to, oh, actually make sure that this bit's flicked out, don't fold that bit in, so like that. So you've got a bit stick up. Then you're just going to fold your other card, your card panel over, like so. So now that's dry, it should open like that. This bit here with the score line down the middle wants to fold so that it's pointing towards the front of the card. So my sentiment is on some circles. I've just used some Time for Tea Designs nesting dies. My holographic is 3 1/4 inch. My navy blue is 2 7/8, and then my white was 2 1/4. Again, I've used blueprint sketch and a stencil. The blueprint sketch is a distress oxide, and then I've stamped "Wishing You a Happy Birthday," which is a sentiment out of this set here, again from issue 147 magazine of creative stamping. Now, because this is going to move, so it's going to go that way, what I want to do is when my card's open, I want to make sure that my sentiment is facing upwards. So if you hold your card open, bob some glue on just this little bit here. I don't know if you can see this bit here. So bob my glue on, make sure my card's open. I've stand the dog ball behind. I don't really know why the dog ball's on my desk. And then like that. So I bobbed a piece of acetate using some double-sided tape on the back of here. It measures half an inch by 2 1/2 inch, and what I want to do is I've glued on my balloon, but I want to make sure that when it closes, my balloon's inside, which it isn't quite, so I just need to maneuver it a little bit. I've used liquid glue for this because I knew that I was going to have to fiddle. There we go, that'll be absolutely fine. Now I did want to put one here as well, but I don't think I'm going to get this one to the point where it's inside the card. So what I think I might do is I might just stick it onto the circle itself. So a bit of liquid glue on the corner here, I think. And then just check we're still within, which it is. This is 5.5 by 5.5, so it will go in a 6" by 6" card base, envelope. So I'm going to leave them to dry. I'm just going to carefully close my card, and I'm going to work on this front. So for my front panel, I have again cut some holographic, which is 5.25 by 5.25. Done the same with my my stencil. So my white was 5 by 5. I've then fussy cut out my I've die cut out my happy birthday, which is a made to surprise sentiment. I've then drawn around my die and fussy cut out to give it the bold shadow, and I've just added another one of the balloons using a bit of foam tape, and I'll just glue that on the front. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, will you please do me a favour and will you please hit that like and subscribe button? So bob that on there. So here you have it, a rotating, spinning pop-up card. Thank you ever so much for watching.